Hey guys, it's Big Sexy with Big Sexy Outdoors. If you guys are looking for your bucks to be big and sexy like me, I recommend you go out and get yourself some Big Sexy by Domain. This product is filled with radish, turnips, and kale, and other vegetation to keep the deer coming back all season long. Go out to your local Tractor Supply and purchase some today. Big Sexy by Domain.
The sun peeks over the horizon. Your excitement builds. The animals in the field start to stir. The forest comes alive with sounds. The sunlight glimmers off the lake, and the mountains start to shed their morning fog. So load up your favorite ammo, grab a few buddies, and head out to make some memories. And tell the rest of the world that you've gone hunting. Gone Hunting is a 1 to 4 player game of family fun where you build a unique hunting ground, scout different animals, buy weapons and gear, and roll dice to hunt. Complete objectives and try not to miss. So let's load up the truck and back Gone Hunting today. See you in the field. Hey, come on.
Hey, there's Brandon. What's up, guys?
Living the dream.
So before we start tonight,
All right.
Chris, Megan Lockwood has a family emergency. Anybody that wasn't on Facebook, she had to cancel out and reschedule. So nobody be upset. Just send some prayers her way, and let's hope everything's going right for her in whatever's going on. And I know Chris has some stuff he wants to share. Even I don't know what it is. So we're going to put Chris on the big screen, and we're going to let Chris do his thing.
All right. Yeah, I usually don't do this because I hate my face. But there's a few things I do need to talk about. One,
it's kind of cute. It could go on a Budweiser can.
Man, rough.
Brutal. Rough start.
I love you, brother.
Rough start.
That's all right. It's all right. You almost got me off my game with that one. But no, I noticed that our contest and the campaign for the 1,000 has worked pretty good on Facebook, right? We got to the 1,000 followers on Facebook.
I think that went in like 10 hours or 5 hours. It wasn't much. We already were up over that.
Right. So I'm looking at BSO's YouTube channel right now, and it's sitting at 296. Okay. So here's one of the things I'm going to do today. If we hit the 300 tonight, I'll send you this because I have one. So I'll send you this if we hit the 300.
Cool. You gonna send it to me? Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. If you're in, we'll pull a name and we'll do everything. But here's the thing. First, you got to hit the old like, share, and subscribe. Right? Show you how to do it.
Very nice.
And make sure you do the comments. Types just like Ben.
Look at you. You're so cute. Look at that.
Is that
awesome.
Ben?
I thought you'd like that one.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, if we get to the 300 tonight and you do all that stuff on this video, we'll pull a name. And then we'll send it out to you. Awesome. Now, you remember last week we had Andrew on, right?
Yeah.
And this is gonna seem like a tangent, but it's not. Now, my friend Paul, he sent me these comics of his that he made, right? And I know we're not a comic place, okay? This one's foil. It's pretty cool. But the reason I'm sending it is because of this one, and I don't know why Andrew didn't mention this one. See what it says?
Yes.
Okay. They're doing a fundraiser for the veterans by selling the comic, and they're giving I don't know how much of it they're giving away, but it's like most of it they're giving away to the veterans causes coming up soon. So I don't know why he didn't mention it last week. I'll have to give him hell for it. But yeah, they're doing this, and they don't know I'm announcing it. I just wanted to do it because, well, it is, it's them, and I think it's a good idea. So they're going to be selling a bunch of those PTSD comics for that. Plus, the dude also did a hand-drawn Wolverine for me, so I thought that was pretty neat. That's pretty cool.
So how much are these comics, Chris?
That's what I have to get with them about. He sent it to me, so I mean, which was cool. I always appreciate Paul doing stuff like that. Paul Gomez, the one that made it. So as soon as I find out, I'll let you know when the sale goes on. Now, you remember these, right?
Absolutely. You mean these? Hold on, guys. You mean these?
You got this. You have the giant statue one.
Huh?
Those are cool.
Mine's on my desk, man. Mine's my game piece. Mine's my Ben Brown, big sexy game piece.
Yeah, and you know where they would really go really well with?
Oh yeah.
This is the first.
Is that just the sample box sent in, or do we start getting them shipped in?
This is the first one off the line. They sent me the first one as soon as they got done printing it. They packed it up and sent it to me as a sample. Still has all the plastic wrap on it.
Oh, so we're opening that right now.
We're doing it.
I mean, the Cobra Ops card and everything's in that. Now, listen, guys, this is the only box we have.
This is it.
This is the only box we have.
They sent this to me as a sample, as the first one off the line. So I get the approvals. I'll give them the approvals, and then everything's done. But you want me to stop? Is that what you said? Just put this away?
No. Anybody object to him opening this box? Because I don't.
No,
I just mad I'm not opening it.
I want to see it.
It's got the old all the logos down here. So when we first open it, right, you're going to get your rule book. Okay. There's your rule book. And then we were talking before about these. Your reference sheets for everybody. We put one in for everybody.
That's cool.
So this way you know exactly what. And if you're a vegetable and flip it upside down, guess what? Whoop-ah! It's the same thing on the other side.
What kind of vegetable? Like a carrot?
You might be a rutabaga.
All right. Well, you shouldn't say a fruit.
But here's our token sheet. All our tokens are sitting here.
Nice.
You got the first.
So everybody knows, they just get punched out. Those are your movement.
Yeah. You just punch these out. Yep. And our redesigned ammo board is next.
Love that. Super clean.
Nice. Yep. And then, of course, here's the insert. I wanted to show you the insert with all the stuff in it.
So this was a big deal, guys. One of the things that delayed this a little bit was they sent Chris and I a copy of the insert.
Yeah.
And we denied it and said absolutely not, unacceptable.
No.
So that's kind of one of the things. We want to make sure you guys, everyone, has a box that will hold all their pieces. And the way they designed it, it wouldn't work. So that's kind of one thing that put a little damper in the process of.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, we are dead set on we were dead set on making this the best it possibly could, and that's why we weren't going to accept that.
Yeah.
And
kudos to you. It's hard when you're in the manufacturing process and things got to change. But good for you guys for sticking to your guns and making sure you're bringing the highest level of quality, because I know I'll appreciate it. And I'm excited to get mine.
Well, the problem is for what we're charging for the game, we really make nothing. So, but the reality of it is it's not about that to us. It's about we want you to, oh, my God, dude, I love it.
Hey, cool.
Let's see. That's the starter web. Sorry, I know you can't see, but I'm going through the cards looking for the sponsor ones. We got the binoculars, the scopes, the blinds. I didn't get to get one of those blinds that we were talking about from was it Tidewee or whatever that thing was?
Yeah, the Tidewee company.
Yeah, I didn't get to get one. We had my little girl's birthday party, so all my cash was thrown into that kind of thing.
That's somebody who sponsored a card. There's a sponsor.
Nice.
Cobra Ops.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's Monty's kid. He asked me if I promised him that I'd put his kid in as a guide.
Cool.
Jesus, God in heaven. I don't know what to say about that guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, this came in today, and I'm like, don't tell Ben. I'm telling Kat not to let you know that I got it in.
Barry makes a good guide. Like, he just looks like he would know,
Yeah, he looks like he's actually living there. Not
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he belongs in the
We were
woods.
deer hunting that night, him and I, and he said, "Can I sit on the ground with you?" And I said, "Yeah, Pop, come up and sit." And then, show the face.
There you go,
This is
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah,
That's Mysterious Dave.
Oh, he finally made it on camera.
Skip.
Hey, okay.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Me and my buddy Tyler.
I'm surprised you're not riding on a horse.
Hot Shots Firearms are
I
gonna.
can send you one of those.
Hey,
There it is.
Cool.
There it is.
There you go. And then we have all of our. I mean, just look at it. How many different trophy cards you're going to be able to play with, and you get like, one or two of these per. Well, when you start, you get one, and you get a couple of them as you play through, and it's just there's going to be so much variety with it. And we're already planning expansions for it. But I know one thing. I know I've been wanting to see, just because I want to see how well they did it. Because to be honest, quality can vary from manufacturer to manufacturer, but there's the bullet dice.
Oh, they
Looks
look
just like we had planned. Yep, that's blue. I mean red. I was grabbing blue. That's why that was on my head. And there's the white ones.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
good,
awesome.
baby. Listen. Oh, that's a lot of dice in there.
Dude, that's it. This is exciting.
And then
Nice. They look
Yes.
good, man. They look clean and crisp. Like everything looks really good.
yeah,
Oh my
they
God,
did-
I'm so excited. So, Chris, I have to ask this. Jasmine, did you unmute your mic?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't. I thought I had my glasses off, but I thought I see it disappear. So you're a sponsor on one of these cards. I need to hear, what was your thoughts when you seen that come up? Your thing.
Oh, dude, I'm amped, man. It's been a process, and it's been a process. It's been a thing in the making, and here it is in front of us, and I'm just like super amped, man, because I can't wait to get it in my hand and actually be able to like touch and feel it and look at like, oh man, that's cool, because that's the first sponsorship we've done as a company, and it's cool to see it, just basically coming to fruition and getting in front of people, and also just to see that you guys are like making it happen, because that is a huge step. It takes, as a person who designs things that are made and built, it takes so long and so much energy and passion to take something from an idea and turn it into a reality. And you guys did it, and you worked hard, you stayed focused, and you turned out a really, really cool product. And I can't wait to see it and have it in my hands.
And
again,
we have a ton into this.
Yeah, I know it's been delayed a bit because of all of that, wanting it to be perfect, but you're going to appreciate it more when you get it, because we took that extra time. We're not doing it just arbitrary. We're doing it because it had to be done, because we want the best for you. Also, did you wonder why this might have said when you move to this base camp? That's because in expansions, we're going to have more base camps. So you can actually have different starting places throughout the whole hunting ground.
We're going to build the expansion that you'll have a base camp with each expansion pack.
Well, big expansion. I'm not going to do one for trapping. It's like
Alaska, it'll be
Southwest.
Yeah, that's a small expansion. We're talking big ones. You can.
Yeah, that's what I was just clarifying. Yeah.
So it's
going
to be cool.
This is the literal first one off the line. They send it off to me, and I just wanted to share it. That's why I asked Ben for a few minutes at night.
No, that's awesome. And Barnes is going to have to, he'll have to follow through. I'll believe it when I see it.
Did you see Barnes' thing? He'll sign your card for some free here. Read that.
But I'm thinking,
I'll believe it when I see it, when it shows up in my mailbox.
The
Barnes,
next
we're going to my
expansion
state next. Going to New York. Come on now.
Clear winner.
Yeah. The next expansion we're going to do is trapping, and that's going to be a small one, because we just want to give a big one, a small one, big one, small one, that kind of a thing. And then the one after that, I'm pushing for Alaska, because I want the mountains in, but maybe we'll do the tundra or the bayou just to get the cool animals in. We'll talk about it. But that's
Little thought on this.
New
Chris and I
Zealand?
discussed. See, this is what happens. This is another little thought. So you guys are in on this. Is we talked about a trapping expansion.
Well, yeah, I just said that.
So right, but we would like to get Matt Brophy, Linda White, Megan Lockwood. We'd like to get them involved in designing.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, so we would like to get them involved, and that way, we kind of have that real edge of trapping in there when we do it.
Absolutely, get some real stuff.
Barnes, there's a Sasquatch in New York, buddy. Sasquatch. Come on now.
I hear the New York Giants are up there too.
I think I seen a jackass alone up there once.
Well, I mean, maybe.
But again, I just wanted to come on and I wanted to show you guys, everybody.
You guys read that one? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, how cool would that be to get these people who actually been there and experienced it?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think that would really make it worth something.
I also bet the guys that I ended up snow goose hunting with on the second day would help with the African expansion too, because they hunt like kudu and things like that. Not so much like the monster trophies, but like your average like deer species and stuff like that, warthogs, porcupines, things like that.
I would love to go kudu hunting though. I think that might be like a top notch sort of thing for me. That's so cool.
I love that too, Chris. We got to look at them animals some more because I thought we took some of them out.
Oh, we definitely took some out. Remember, okay, when we took some out, okay, here's the thing I did for everybody. And I didn't tell anybody because, well, I like to give things away. That's just my way. Sure, it makes me lose money sometimes, but I like to give things away. When I made the tile sheets, like the punch boards for these, I had a spot where I had 6 extra spaces. So I put 2 extra animals in for each one. So yeah, I did that. Yeah,
so you added like the snowshoe hare, the snow goose.
Dude, that's a nice one.
You made me think of you. Yep, there's a couple of snow geese. Yep, some doves.
Cool.
Of course, we gotta have.
But of course.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you're right, Mr. Brandon. That bacon is the way to go.
Oh yeah.
Of course, then we had the buck.
Why does that look like an elk?
It's a big one, Ben.
Yeah.
Not everybody's shooting skippers, buddy. Come on now.
Nice.
Now, I personally have never seen
Brandon.
Yeah, I thought it was, but it wasn't.
I didn't see it snapping into a Jack Wiggs beef jerky.
I already did.
But I never saw one of these reptile feet in person.
There you go, dude. American coot.
The American coot.
Best eating on the water.
That's like That's the number one swatted animal in the world.
Really?
It's a very swat.
Yeah, you water swat them.
Punch in the face.
Yeah, just water swat them. Throw them in the faces.
Your mom's favorite, Ben.
She drew that card every time we played. I think she drew a rabbit. No matter what rabbit it was, she got it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So you guys seen in the beginning all them figures Chris made. He actually has a 3D printer, so he made like the pawns he showed you, Chris. You where them pawns at?
I'll get them. Yeah.
So those pawns, dude, I love that. So what Chris did is he made 4 figures.
Mm-hmm.
He made 4 figures to replace the pawns if anybody was interested in buying them. You can paint them. You can paint them to match somebody. You can. So those would be the replace.
Forgetting to send him your money.
Take your time. You know where I'm at.
And
they fit nice on here. You can fit. If multiple people are hunting on the same area, so they all fit.
That's cool. So we know Big Sexy is with the 2 shotguns. Who is the rest of the crew here?
Also, I just dropped it, and you'll notice it's fine. I don't know. Honestly, I just picked this one we did for Hale because she likes. She's the archery. I know I'm covering and squishing her head, but you get the idea. The other 2, I just wanted a male with a gun and female with a gun, and
That's cool.
Yeah. And then this one is for, where are you, ammo board? That's for tracking your days.
I love that.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
That's really intricate.
Now, Chris has them painted, so if anybody else thinks they look like painted, he does have some. Don't let him kid you.
Yeah, I have, honest to God, I have them somewhere, but it's, I know I've given a couple to the kids, so I mean, but yeah, if you saw, I didn't print any small ones of the tech guy because nobody wants me in anything.
I wanted Chris in there. He wouldn't do it, guys. I wanted to make a little tech guy one.
I'm not.
Nope, he was against it. He wouldn't do it. I wanted it.
I'm not pretty enough. Maybe we'll do one for the expansion. And then, but yeah, as soon as I saw that picture of Ben with the 2 shotguns up, and then I saw I could make the mini with the 2 guns up, that's a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer, yeah. Couldn't say no to that.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's.
And now
that's
I got my masterpiece.
Yeah, you got the giant one.
Good. Yeah, but give us a little close-up there, Ben.
I don't know on the angle. It has my shirt, my BTD shirt, my Big Sexy Outdoors hat. Watch.
And
Dude,
the gray in the
so
beard.
cool.
It's even got the gray in the beard.
Yeah, it really does. That is fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, the actual size for the ones that, is about a couple inches high. So,
one Chris finger high.
Yeah. Sexy butt.
Oh, you know what? Now, hey, those are going to sell off the shelves now, Chris.
Uh-huh. But yeah, again, these are just your tokens, and they punch out nice. I've been working with this company for, what is it now, 10 years, 15 years I've been making games. And, I trust this company and this manufacturer, and they punch out fine, and everything will be good. Yeah, sorry to take up so much time, but I was pretty excited about
work,
it.
Man.
Dude, you ain't taking up time. You just made me excited.
No, that is super exciting. I'm amped for you guys, and I'm just amped, honestly, for myself. I can't wait to get this game so I can play it.
But there it is.
Right.
I think people are going to be listen, I think once you guys play it, you're going to be like, this is awesome. I really do. Like Chris and I, when I tell you we have a year and a half invested into this, it's no joke. I mean, it
takes time.
Designed, redesigned, designed, redesigned, designed, redesigned. We'll keep this. We'll throw that. We'll move this.
And then manufacturing,
It's all glare.
Yeah. It's all glare. But there we are. Do you want to look at it? Okay.
Nice work, man. For both of you guys. Lots of great work.
So once it hits, so you agree to this. We agree to this, and we send this. What happens once it hit there? How long do we have her printed and shipped?
Oh, once I send them the official, I can't send it now because I'm talking to you, but once we send them the official approval that this is fine, it'll take about a week and a half, 2 weeks for them to print, and then another week or so to assemble. Send it to the shipping dock is another 3 to 4 days, then 30 days on the boat, between a week and 2 weeks to get through customs. If you've ever done anything overseas, bringing it into the U.S., you got to go through customs. So it takes about a week or two for them to check everything. And then 3 to 4 days on the truck to my house, and then we send it out to you. So give it about another month and a half or so, and we should have everything in hand.
Cool.
So they send you this to tease
my
you.
best educated guesstimate. Okay, take it for what it is. But they sent me this one here. I asked them to. Usually I don't, but I wanted to have this one to show you guys so you could see that progress is made. This thing is real. It's out here. Anybody that was worried that it wasn't going to be made, it doesn't get more made than this, right? Again, I've been doing this. I know I'm new to the VSO stuff. We've only been doing this about a year, but I've been making the games and the comics and the books and things for about 15 years. It's just what I do.
That's awesome.
I like it.
So there we are. Now I'll shut up. You guys do what you got to do, and I'm outie.
Dude, I'm excited. You don't have to go anywhere. That excited me, guys. I'm going to tell you that. I know it's been in progress, but seeing it. By the way, before we leave game thing, I have the same cup Chris has right here, brand new in a box. And the day they're out, anybody that gets on and comments about their game, we'll wait like a week or two. We'll figure it out. We're going to give one away.
Now I gotta say with this, whenever I get a what do they call these? A thermos cups. You get the idea.
Yeah.
I like to run through a test, and what I did is I put ice in this the night before, ice in a drink. It's like I have now, and I let it sit, and it was still ice in the morning.
That's awesome.
8 hours later. So I mean, you can't beat that.
I know you don't hear this, but these weren't cheap.
No, they're not, but they're good.
I did not pay. Oh yeah, I know. I spent a pretty good penny on these cups, and I'll tell you that I didn't buy many of them, but I bought enough to give away. And the lady did a great job on design.
Oh yeah,
well, it turned out really good.
And I don't know if you've seen my little special design in the back of the BSO cups.
Mm-hmm. I think that's so cool.
So I'm digging them.
Nice.
Digging
Right
them.
on. Well, so speaking of gone hunting, there's also been a lot of gone fishing over the last few weeks. I think just about all of us have been out hitting the streams. So what's life like in the fishing world, guys?
Well, I can vouch up for Dave and myself. We went out last Saturday, and we caught 60 trout in
how many?
4 hours, 5 hours, 60. So if you look at the YouTube video we just posted, that was only one spot. And then Dave and I went to another spot where we just killed them. Oh my God, we killed them there, but we hit them even harder at the next spot.
Dang, dude.
So we had to make our YouTube video in actually 2 parts because we caught so many fish. Normally you do a lot of editing, you throw it away.
Yeah.
There was so much. Now I threw some away, some fish we caught where we didn't really catch them or get them.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that there's so many fish that there's a lot of good stuff.
Wow, dude. That's
you just did you guys just follow the stocking truck around?
No, it's just a spot. It's just a spot that Dave knew.
Where the stocking truck goes.
No.
Back the truck in and pull the lever and away they go.
No, Dave fished for years in these spots, these stretches, I guess since he's a kid, and he said, "Let's go try them." And I said, "Oh,
that is spectacular."
And I wasn't disappointed, but let me tell you one of the coolest things. I'm going to tell you one of the coolest things I witnessed. And did any of you guys watch the YouTube video?
I haven't had a chance yet, no.
All right. I'm going to exit full screen here, man. I got to show you guys something. So, oh, yeah, there's my new shirt. Matt Brophy dropped off.
That's cool.
I was on my porch the other day. I gave a BSO donation, and he dropped me off a shirt.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I want to let me do something a minute here. Hopefully I can find it quick because I don't know if I can. You guys talk and give me a second. I'll see if I can find it.
Well, he's looking for that. I've been out. So I know we had talked about this maybe about a month ago, and I was saying I was going to get back into fly fishing. So I finally did it. We got the rod set up. We got our reels set up. We got line out, and I went this last Monday. So when Ben is done showing us and telling us all about it, this, I'll give you guys the rundown. But this is over in northern Ohio, and there's a pretty good steelhead run over in northern Ohio, and it's one of the best steelhead runs that you can get to. We missed it. We've had really, really bad weather. Water was warm, and then it was super low, and then it was super high, and then the turbidity was crazy. You couldn't see. It was just like chocolate milk for days and days and days. But we ended up getting out for a little bit and doing some steelhead fishing. And I got my first steelhead on a hook, and I lost it 4 feet in front of me. And I felt these things are huge, and they are so much fun to go after. And I'm hooked, man. I am in there like swimwear. It's gonna be something I think I do every single year is go hit the steelhead round. And I've also decided that waders are optional. So I had a lot of fun just wading because it was 85 this Friday. We went for my dad's birthday, and that's my fly fishing mentor, Jim McBride. He's super, super cool guy. But yeah, so I use the brow hooks. Even when I wear
Oh, I think we lost.
Sorry.
Did we-
I'm
did
here.
we-
Here.
What's going on?
So I'm not sure. So I don't like to wear a vest. So I wear just like a.
Yeah, he's froze.
I can hold my water bottle and hold my stuff, and it's a lot easier to get off than all the carabiners and everything. So it worked out really, really good, actually. So I've been playing around with that and taking some videos and images so people can see how we use them. But we've been using those little lanyards, Chris. We've been using those too because I don't like the stretchy ones because they always wear out when you're fishing. So I've been using the paracord ones, and they're working out really good for me. But anyways, this is Jim McBride. He's a super cool guy. He's been fishing for many years. I used to go to college with my dad actually, and I think right there we were just prepping up. Yeah, he's got the glasses, man, and he is serious. He loves his fly fishing, and this guy had just recovered from hip surgery. Like he just had his hip replaced like a week and a half or two ago, and he fished 4 out of 5 days this last week. So I mean, the dude is like he's all about the fishing. It's really fun.
Who's hooking up with Skook?
That's Matt Brophy. Remember Linda Stings this weekend?
Right.
Oh, nice.
I have a softball game, but we'll hook up. I have a softball game Saturday at 12.
Sorry,
But they're doing it Saturday and Sunday, so we'll hook up either way one of those days. All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, now listen. I'm gonna hit a spot here. Just hold on a second. I want you to listen close. Oh, I can't play Chris this way. Crap. Hold on.
Where's my gun?
So
I forget when I'm on the other side.
to shoot the arrows, Chris.
Okay, so let me hit play here. The sight of a bald eagle flying by. Hold on. Right here. You're going to hear. Now listen to this sound. Are you ready?
Oh, right. There's a bald eagle watching us.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Was that your
chittering
breathing?
sound?
No. You're killing me. Are you being serious right now?
We heard the bald eagle.
So that was one of the coolest things I've experienced. There was a bald eagle in the tree. I mean, it was literally right there. It was awesome.
Wow.
And it was calling and carrying on. There had to be a nest close by. Dave and I came up with. There had to be a nest. It was by far one of the neatest things. Now, I'm telling you, I was so hooked by. Oh, it was awesome. That's all I can say is it was awesome.
Wow.
It was so hooked.
Yeah, but how do they taste?
You can't eat them.
I guess we'll never know.
Christopher.
You
Well,
say
I don't
we can.
In Alaska, they probably taste like trash. My cousin calls them dumpster chickens.
Dude, there's a lot of them up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them here in New York too. Actually,
Really?
I can't stand them. They will screw up a good duck hunt any day of the week.
Yeah, we've had more and more of them in Ohio, but it is really cool to see them. I like when they, we'll be hunting or whatever, like just like Ben is out fishing. And that's exceptional. Like you guys are close enough to take some really good pictures of them, and I've never seen one, at least in Ohio. I've never seen one up that close. That's pretty dang cool. It was probably waiting for you to drop a fish, honestly.
Right here, I tried to pull this other video up. We had a bald eagle fly right by us while we were fishing off this bridge.
Hold on, I got to put the video up. You don't see anything because I don't have the video up.
Well, it don't matter. I can't see it anyway.
You are my special friend.
Well, that's my second one, Bob.
Who are you out with?
That was our cousin.
Are these little eastern like are these what kind of trout are these? I guess is what I'm asking.
I'll tell you this: I didn't catch a trout that small one time yesterday.
They're just stock trout, but some of these are terrible.
I ain't getting that hook.
These are eastern.
Right here, look.
Wow.
Look how close that bald eagle was. That
Dude, that's
valley.
a beautiful place, honestly.
So that valley we were hunting, not hunting but fishing, was one of the neatest valleys. Again, I've never been real part of it. That's somewhere Dave goes a lot. The bald eagles out there are absolutely ridiculous. It is awesome.
Yeah, because they can catch 60 trout a day, man. They're probably the
Exactly.
healthiest birds you've ever seen.
Yeah, they're following the Encon truck too. Waiting for them to dump the fish in the river.
You guys are too harsh, man. You guys are harsh on me.
Man, those things are beautiful. What kind of fly is that?
That's a Skippy tied that. That's our BSO fly tie or Skip.
Yeah. So I'll have to get the rundown from Skip on what that was. That looks.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're called.
I just learned how to tie a fly. I mean, obviously it takes a lifetime to learn all the different flies and all the different techniques, but I just tied my first 2 weeks ago, and that was really exciting. I mean, it's like, honestly, it's like addictive. As much as the fishing is, it's just as much fun to sit there and wind up a fly.
I personally never done it. The beautiful part of knowing Skip is I just send a message and Skip takes care of it all. I think Dave just ordered like $80 in flies from him, and he got a ton of flies. I mean, beautiful looking. That picture you just seen is one of Dave's flies Skip made.
It looks good. It looks authentic.
You always use your friend's flies. Always. I noticed Ben was using Dave's, in case you snap the line.
Well, the key is you can use your friend's flies. You just can't pull down your friend's flies. Remember that. There's a big difference.
That's true.
It's weird. It's weird if you go that way.
That's in the book, man. That's page.
Yeah, that's in the handbook, dude. You can't
What if you're drinking Bud Light together, though?
Okay. All right. On that, it's probably possible that there's a rule broken somewhere.
I'm sure.
Different book.
Now, this fish looks like he drank Bud Light.
Dude, This fish was so small. So granted, I'm using like an 8-weight rod. Like I've got a stout rod and I've got a sizable like 8-weight reel. And I'm using I was using a size 6 hook on, it was essentially like a black nymph. And this thing, I cast up to a little like root ball on the side, and this thing hit that thing. It swallowed the whole dang thing. And I was just like, and this fish is not, granted I have large hands, but it was not a very big fish. But it was so comical because I'm like working so hard all day, just casting, trying to learn how to do it, trying to make sure I'm doing it right. And the one thing I end up catching is this little guy, and it's just like I've got this huge rod, this little tiny fish on it. My dad's like maybe 70 yards down the creek, and he looks down, and I'm dancing around and everything, and Dad's just like looking at me like what happened? And I'm like holding the rod straight up. It's like barely bent over with this tiny little fish, and he's just like, what happened? And I was like, I caught a fish. He's like, where is it? I'm just like, it's on the end of my line. What the heck? But it is what it is. It was still a ton of fun to catch it, and it was very satisfying. It was a pretty fish.
It is cool when you catch your first one.
Yeah, it is really. It's satisfying. You feel like at least you're not doing it 100% right, but that at least I wouldn't starve. Like if I had to do this, I wouldn't I might not. I would starve slower than normal. I guess.
I was gonna say if that's the only fish you caught, you might actually starve, Desiree.
Yeah, but it'd be slower than normal. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave. The last person that equipped Ben with the fish and stuff, that didn't the rod explode?
Okay. All right.
Ben's like, no. I got to set the record straight here.
Okay, so hold on. That was a bow.
Yeah, it was still fishing equipment.
It wasn't a rod, though.
Were you bow fishing?
Yes. And,
or did
and
you
the whole
see a
bow,
big deer with gills or something?
dude, the whole bow blew up on me. It was terrible.
Dang, man. What was somebody, was it like a recurve compound? What was it?
Just one of them bow fishing bows you buy in the thing. It was crazy.
And you're that strong. You just ripped the thing apart.
It was, I don't know, man. It just wasn't made for big guys like me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it just went poof. So the arrow didn't knock right, allowing the knock to stay loose. Now, you know what happens when you dry fire a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just waylaid.
Wow. Dang, man.
While Jasper's talking, Dave, I'll try to find them pictures you're talking about.
So one thing that I was trying to figure out, and I want to honestly, we need to get Skip on here and just do like the science of flies and just learn about the different kinds of stuff. Just because I think, at least I'll put it for myself, I think that would be fascinating. But it is really interesting to see how each fly acts in the water. And I realize every time I tried a different fly, I'd have to relearn all over again how to cast a fly, how to let it work through a run or whatever. And it's like a totally different experience from spin casting. I really, really enjoy it, which I love spin casting, but this was just a lot of fun. But we were going primarily for steelhead, and basically all the steelhead. Are those spawning? Is that what that's going on?
Yeah, 2 muskie spawning. They came up the stream 2 hours after we left. Somebody sent a picture.
Dude,
one of the same
cool.
holes we were fishing at.
So there was at one point where I had a pod of 4 male steelhead after 1 hen, and I was putting flies on their nose. It was landing just a foot in front of them and drifting right down, hitting them straight in the face. They had zero interest. They had one thing on their mind this time of year, and it was so frustrating.
It is frustrating, especially when you know they're there.
Oh yeah.
He does not drink Bud Light.
Dang. Were you guys fly fishing for muskie, or would you have tried to go after it?
Oh yeah, I have some big streamers for muskie. I think I'd love to try that, but
dude, I'll bet that would be epic actually.
Dave has a spot trout season. Matter of fact, right about now, the muskies start to spawn up from the river. And a couple of years ago, he was fishing for a palomino, and a muskie come up and smashed it.
Whoa.
And
those are the palominos are like the white, sort of white.
Yeah, they're gold.
Gold. Okay.
They're gold. They're still a rainbow trout. They're just a golden rainbow trout.
That is pretty cool. And they just stock a few in there just to keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's sweet.
The problem with those is, in my opinion, everybody fishes for those.
Oh, sure.
You see them in the water. They're bright orange.
Yeah, they probably don't last long, do they?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Dave, but Dave caught 3 already.
Wow. I did see that. I was trying to remember what it was called. So, dude, that is a wicked looking fish, man. I can't. You got to think that the eagles are just seeing those things from a mile away.
Oh yeah,
that's super cool. Wow.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. You want to do some fishing? Stop down here. There's some good streams that hit some fish up down here.
Dude, I'm gonna have to get over there. The other thing that kind of came to mind, as you were showing that muskie picture, is so I've never sight fished before. I have for pike, but even northern pike, you just see them for a second as they dart out for something, and they go back into a weed bed, or they go back underneath a log or whatever, and they're just waiting for somebody else to come by. And then you're working that area, and maybe you're working a spoon, or you're working, a deer or whatever you're trying to get in front of it just to get it to come out and nab it. But it's there on the basis that you saw it there for a split second. So stream fishing, I've never really fished a clear stream before. And when we were out on Friday, it was gin clear. You could see the bottom, every little pebble. It was really beautiful. But what I didn't think about is the fish can see you. And so it's almost honestly, it's almost like deer hunting, because they're in there. It's how am I going to approach? Because I don't want to send silt down by them, and I want to get up behind them, but I got to get into a place where I can throw my fly over top of them. But I don't want my fly line to land directly on them. It's very interesting. And just it's a completely different experience just to see it in clear water. And honestly, up in Northwest Ohio, we have a few maybe streams and maybe some runoff ditches and stuff like that hold
clear water throughout the year. But I mean, we were over closer to Cleveland, and like these are big rivers, and they're like crystal clear, and it's totally different from anything I've ever done in my life.
Well, I can tell you, my brother is a super avid. Here's some of Skip's flies he tied. My brother is
nice.
a super avid fisherman, and he catches a ton of big fish. I mean, a ton, just like Dave. And in my experience, I would recommend 2 things. And one thing you're going to laugh at, but it's a pair of polarized sunglasses. Always carry a pair.
Oh,
Always.
Makes sense.
You can see everything in them things. And then the other thing is if you're fly fishing, a 9-foot leader, and then another 2 foot for tippet because your tippet's thinner.
Yeah.
You want 11 foot of string without your fly string. That's without your float.
Yeah. Makes sense. Just trying to get as much distance between the visible line. Do you use like a fluorocarbon leader?
Yes.
That makes sense.
It honestly does. That does. I don't really see that too. So monofilament is very hideable. There's Dave's daughter. That's one she got last year.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
Monofilament is probably one of the best lines to hide. So
that's because I was asking that question, and the answer I always get is like, no, it's fluorocarbon or nothing. You might as well not fish, or like that, or the new what is it, like the duplex line, or I can't remember what it's called, but it's essentially like they've taken 2 polymers and bound them together, and it's almost like a composite line that has like a core and then an outer shell, and that's supposed to be. What is it?
It like makes it stronger with that inner.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 70% stronger.
More whip action to it.
Yeah, and I haven't used that yet, because I'm just experimenting with what my mentor uses. So I'll have to try like monofilament leaders in the future just to try it out, just to see if I feel any difference in the action.
Listen, I take 2 pieces of monofilament string, 2 arm lengths, and I cut it off. I don't even buy tapered leaders. I don't. All them guys that do that. Listen, it's great. I understand it, but I break more line using tapered leaders when a nice fish hits than I do just using a straight piece of string. The biggest is that tippet.
Yeah.
That tippet's your biggest thing. It's real thin.
Yep.
And very, very invisible. So your fly, you figure if you have 3 foot of tippet, okay, that fly from there to there, them seeing your string isn't going to be as drastic because you have that tippet that's invisible in the water.
That's a good point, actually.
And drift is it. Drift is it. When you get that in the water, you want to drift just like you fish with a spinning rod, and you bring it down around and it follows through, and they hit it when it hits that right spot, the current, that's when the fish whacks it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a fly rod. It's all in the drift. Like a lot of guys will peel their string. I don't know if you ever watch them, but they peel their string, right? Me, I hold my rod out like this, and I hold my string, and I just float current.
Yeah. See, when I go to mend, though, if I go to mend, I'll have a ton, which I recognize that everybody listening might not be as familiar with fly fishing as we are as we go through this. But basically, mending is just flipping your line so that it essentially moves upstream, so that your fly line doesn't get ahead of your leader. But when I go and mend, if I've got too much line out or it's in the current, I find that I have to strip back line so that when I mend, it doesn't get out of control and slap the water. But then at the same time, I lose distance and it looks less natural. So I don't know, like, what is it better just to let it drift and let the fly line belly out?
No, you just keep it tight. I mean, sometimes you'll have to peel a little bit, but you shouldn't. You see them guys and they're all like, zzz, zzz.
Yeah, they're stripping tons of line.
That's great if you're pond fishing. That's great if you're on a still body of water. I've caught many trout on a still body of water. You got to make it look alive.
Sure.
So, it's a real little bit, stop, little bit, stop. You want it to look like it's kind of going along the water, but when you're fishing current, it's just that, fishing current.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I am a terrible trout fisherman. I mean, I am terrible at it. I don't start catching fish till the 1st of June or the first weekend in June when bass season opens. That's like my thing. And we used to fly fish like farm ponds, and we'd strip line and just run topwater poppers on a fly rod basically to catch bass, and it was a good time. But that's like, I feel like you're right, Ben. That the time to strip line is when you're glass like water, because you can kind of pop a little bit like a fly landing, or poppers or whatever. But I can't really speak on the river fishing. I'm just not that good at it.
No, that makes sense though, because like you're trying to create the fish action, whereas like if you've got current, the fish is just going to be following the current, or it's going to be opposing the current. And if it's a fly, you're essentially assuming that it's just supposed to be going with the river.
I was going to message Skip and try to get him in on here today, because Skip is a good one for it. Skip is a huge one. That dude is in love with fly fishing. I love to do it, but Skip is by far.
He's in love with it.
He's making a fool out of
Yeah, like when I tell you that dude is in love with it, I mean he's in love with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see this video Dave just sent me, but if you watch it, there's a palomino in the water. Remember you asked what it looked like? Now look how far away that is, and watch this.
You can watch it almost hit.
Oh, wow.
See it right here?
He's making a fool out of me.
See it chasing the spinner across the water?
Wow. Yeah, you can see it just.
Yeah, so that's how those fish stick out. Now that's deep. Right there is actually really deep.
Yeah.
Well, look how that just follows that right across the water.
Dude.
Now, imagine being there in person. That golden fish just, I explain it just stands out.
Sure. It's like a highlighter on the middle of a page.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
Now, that video, if I remember right, was a buddy of Dave's nephew or something, and he was trying to. And then I think Dave sent another video. I think the other video was at Muskie's.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. I didn't realize they spawned, like, they come up the river to spawn.
Oh, yeah. Them muskie will come up any of these old tributaries. They're I find a lot more. So last year, I don't know if you've seen all the videos last year and all the pictures, I caught a bunch of smallmouth, 4 or 5 pound smallmouth on rooster tails. I was trout fishing.
Huh.
And the bass were the same thing, spawning up the same tributaries. And I couldn't catch a trout. Dave's daughter caught 30 trout. I didn't catch one, but I could hit every bass in the creek.
Dude, that happens sometimes. When we went out Monday, Jim caught a sucker, which was beautiful. And Chris, I don't have that video handy, but it's on our Instagram. And then he also caught like a nice smallmouth, really nice sized smallmouth bass, and that was insane. Like just to see them come out of the water is just intense, especially when you're expecting a trout. And I'm sure you guys can tell the difference when there's a trout on versus a bass on versus a sucker. But like with my lack of I just don't have enough experience with it yet on fly rods to know the difference. And it is crazy. Like just when that thing comes out of the water and you look at it, you're like, I cannot believe that. Just like, especially in the middle of a fast moving stream, and you see this like 10-pound sucker or 8-pound sucker come out of the water. It's like, holy smokes.
So I have a question. What did he catch a sucker on? Because it ain't often you hear that on a fly rod.
We were going to try to target some, but what we were using at the time is we were targeting steelhead with sucker spawn. So he had an egg fly.
Yeah.
Right at the end, so let me think about this. He tied an egg fly to the end of his tippet, and then he added another 8-inch piece of tippet to the end of that hook, and he tied on a sucker spawn.
Okay.
And so it's like a little white sack of eggs with a little bit of, you can put some glow fuzz on there or something just to kind of give it a little bright splash of pink or orange or yellow. But yeah, it actually bit on the sucker spawn, not on the egg, which is kind of interesting.
I've fished that way, and I've had some real negative.
I don't care for it. I stopped doing it after about a couple hours. I had some tangles, I had some knots get tied in my tippet, and unless you have a lighter or a heavier fly on the end, I think it really does like cause problems. But yeah, just a really pretty fish, honestly. I had never seen a sucker in person before. I caught like sheep's head in Lake Erie, which this river dumps into Erie, but this was last Monday and the water was just super cloudy. And I just thought that was the prettiest, just a super pretty fish.
They're neat looking, ain't they?
Yeah, they are, with that little dorsal fin. And then this smallmouth, like just the tiger striping on it was beautiful. The coloration was crazy cool. Let's not watch the turkey call. Actually, Brandon was kind enough to give me some very candid feedback on that, which I appreciate, of course. Honestly,
dude, I was just ball busting on that.
Listen, truthfully, the bottom line with the turkey call is if you got a hot gobbler, as long as you can keep them interested with some clucks, purrs, you ain't gonna lose them. A couple yelps.
I don't believe
turkey plans. What are your turkey plans?
I mean, I like mine next to mashed potatoes and gravy.
So
that's my plan.
Your plan is mashed potatoes and gravy?
Who's going to shoot the turkey?
Yeah, right next to the turkey. That's going to be me.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Problem there. No, I don't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, I thought your mic was cutting out there. No, I'm not much on spring fishing, but I'm in the mood to do some turkey hunting here, and I'm starting to see some birds here and there, and not to contradict you there, Ben, but I'm very particular about my turkey calls when I'm in the woods and the tones that are made, and I've found that with years and years of practice and trial and error that getting the right turkey call at the right time and the right tone and the right language to said turkey makes more of a difference than anything. I do think that a hot gobbler will gobble his head off all day long, but I've found that if you're not very good, they tend to hang up and they'll just sit there and gobble like a bunch of idiots until they see something that they like. And sometimes that's not your decoy. I've had them hang up before when I first started, and then I quit calling, and maybe 20 minutes later they came in because I was no longer calling and they just came into decoy.
Interesting.
But since I've practiced a lot more and gotten better, my percentages have gone up immensely. So.
Well, so what is New York's turkey season? Like, what does it start? Has it already started? Is it starting soon?
No. So our season's actually late compared to a lot of seasons. So it starts the 1st of May, which I think part of that is kind of weather related, with the way everything kind of rolls up through. And then
is that your early bird?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Listen, not to interrupt you guys, but I don't know if you guys realize that we just went pro staff with early bird game calls.
It's cool.
But
that sounds nice.
I'm in loving these sounds. This sound is so I got some calls coming out to some of our guys here to Jazzer, I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that's about a 15-pound sucker.
The bull carp. Is that a carp or
that's sucker? A carp, not a sucker. That's a carp. Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, that thing's massive, man. Did you catch that on a mulberry?
No, we were trout fishing, and it ended up hitting. I forgot what the heck it hit. It was actually Dave that caught it.
That's an intense. I'll bet that was a ton of fun.
That was fun. I'll tell you.
I've
he threw me the rod. He said, "You take over." That was fun.
Yeah, I'll bet, dude. Wow.
Me and my friend Jake used to actually catch suckers on purpose for trapping bait for his father.
Oh, is
So,
that right?
yeah, we used to try and catch them all the time, and we did really well, actually. We usually caught 10 or 12 every time we went out. And it's
Dang.
not bad, man. I'm
That's
liking
pretty
it.
dang good.
I'm telling you this. Now, this is the first time I got one with the corner cut, but I'm in love with this.
Yeah.
It sounds just like I used to use a fear knot raspy old hen, and I shot a lot of birds off of that call. And
That's what I have now.
That call there sounds just about exactly like it, and I am super excited to use it.
I need to get one. I've been meaning to reach out to him and get one.
Yeah.
Don't forget to use BSO5.
Got it.
for
That's
your
just
discount.
BSO5.
Yep, BSO5. That's simple for your discount.
Nice. What did Barnesy just say here too? He was just chirping a little bit. Oh, yeah, Barnes. Don't be afraid to comment on that and give me your candid thoughts. I can handle it.
So you're using a slate and stick, is what I seen, right? Or was that a glass?
So that is my buddy Scott. He's kind of taken me under his wing to teach me some stuff about turkey hunting, because I've only gone on a couple times, and both times I basically I was on like a 2-acre property, private property, all boarded by private, couldn't go anywhere. I hear the turkeys, 600 yards over there. There's nothing you can do, and it's like you can call, but you can't get close enough to them for them to really be interested. So I just didn't have any success, and I didn't know what else to do. I just didn't have any experience. And Scott said he'd take me out this year, so we went out scouting today, and we actually saw birds, which was awesome. I mean, we got in the video. I should have taken a video of when we saw them, but I was so hyper focused on them. We saw like a little flock of 5 hens together, and we had just got the gobbler to shock gobble maybe a minute before that. So I was just keyed up, and I was just I've seen turkey at a distance in the wild, but I have never been out looking for turkeys and actually seen one. So the fact that we saw 5 of them and then we heard the gobbler was just epic. So we're going out on Saturday morning to try that for the first time. But yeah, I honestly, I'm just figuring it out. And the call that I've got is one that I bought 7 years ago by chance from Walmart and was just playing with. And I think I buzzed my teeth with it real bad. The very first time I tried it, I just put it back in its box, closed it up, put it back in my bag, and said, I'm not touching that for a while. And I didn't pick it up for several years. So
I have an old call. I wish I had it here. I had a guy make me. They were $35 about 10 years ago a piece. And I bought me, my brother, and my dad one. They were engraved. They had turkey tracks burned in the bottom of them.
These
they
are
were walnut. They were walnut, and they were glass over slate over glass. And the sound that came out of these calls was phenomenal.
Just really good. I have a pot call, and it's a slate call. And honestly, it was it's not the nicest one, but I've gotten good sound out of it. I like the idea. I know myself well enough to know that especially as I'm just getting started, if I see a bird, period, I'm going to be so excited. My inclination is going to be to just drop things and to kind of be startled and excited. So I'm trying to manage how much stuff I'm holding in my hands. But maybe once I get the trick of the diaphragm call and I can kind of put that in my mouth as they, once I know they're committed, and then I can put down the pot call, then I'll probably start using the pot call.
Well, I'll give you a little trick I learned years ago. Now, I broke mine.
Oh, yeah?
But they still sell them. I don't feel, when I first started, I used it a lot. I don't use it, like I said, once I broke mine, I didn't buy another one. But have you ever seen the push calls?
Yes, I have, the Higgins.
Okay, so
yeah.
So they make that call with 2 gun barrel clips.
With 2 what?
gun barrel clips.
Oh, dude, so it'll sit.
And
dude, that's handy.
There's a string that runs back to your trigger.
Becomes a pull call.
I shot 3 gobblers one time, 3 years in a row. I had my finger on the trigger, and I had that string right here, and I just was going, and he popped his head up to look, and boom! I love that call. That was one of my favorite when I first started learning, because all you do is stick it on this finger, and you let your finger out wide, and you just real slow pull it, and it just makes that little as it's going. I mean,
little purr.
Yep, and they just go crazy over it.
Dang, dude, that's a hot tip. Actually, I might have to look into that.
And if you can get somebody videoing you using that, that's really cool. I've never got a video. I think that would be awesome.
I don't know if they still make the clip version of that or not. They called it the egg back in the day. It was actually shaped like a turkey egg, and it clipped right onto your gun barrel. It went right in front of where your mag tube would be, and then it had a run string on it. Those things were pretty cool.
They still make them. They don't make. I don't think they make them in the egg anymore. I think it's just a regular box with a pin now.
Yep. And you can just rubber band one of the wooden box ones on too if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Just run your finger up there. But those things do work pretty cool when you get them in close range and everything, like very minimal movement, things like that. So.
Well, I used to sit on an old logging road, and we get the birds within 10 yards.
Yeah.
And we always had to figure out how we could hold the gun up. That spot they timbered now. I can't get in, but, we'd sit there with the guns up, and you can't move. At a mouth call, you and I both know a mouth call is loud even when it's soft.
Yeah.
Even when you're really soft on it, it's still louder than a normal bird would be on that close.
Mouth call?
Yeah. So mouth call is great to get them to get started. But the mouth call for me, when you get them close, no matter how quiet you think you are, it is not the same tone.
Sure. Because you need the force to hold it up against your top.
Well, you need something to make them want to keep coming. You know what I mean? Like we used to let them down a logging road at 60 yards, and they turn and leave because once they got close, they could just tell something wasn't right. So then we started going to this box, and that was awesome.
Is that's
her?
That's the egg there.
They do still make the egg, huh?
Well, I didn't think they made it anymore. It used to be gray.
Well, I don't know. Don't quote me on it. I'm just I'm just doing the adequate level of research that we've become so well known for here at.
Yeah, you mean Googling? I got you.
Right. That's right. No, it appears to be it's sold out on Sportsman's Guide, but it does appear to be a current item.
Huh.
It says this one is called. Let's see. MAD, M-A-D.
Yeah, MAD calls.
The egg, MAD, the egg. Push button.
I thought the egg went away. See, Brandon, the egg's still there. Chris has it. Look at Chris is always going.
There she is.
That's not bad, actually.
There she is.
Oh, discontinued.
Oh.
Dang it.
I got to be honest with you, though, guys. I don't know if I'd be happy with that sitting that color attached to the front of my gun.
Oh, yeah?
No way. The ones I used to have were black.
Oh, yeah? You think the white would just
make a green?
A green, a black. They make darker colors. That white, Brandon, so you know this. That turkey's eyes are like they're like a crow or an eagle. You can't let that out there.
Yeah. Because they're going to key in on that light color because they're looking for another gobbler's head.
Say something, but you there?
Yeah.
I said by the time they're ready to see that thing, I've already clobbered their head off. 70.
You just guillotine it.
Oh yeah.
Again, I agree with you, but there's those instances where that bird you don't see until he's right on top of you.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was always mine. Like that logging road we hunted. Listen, this is God's honest truth. I have guys that'll get on here and vouch this. I hunted this logging road, and I told these guys that the birds roosted right off this logging road, and they laughed at me. So you go in at night.
Did you guys read? Did you read the comment though? It's along the lines of mine.
He had a good note about practicing in the truck. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you're talking about the 10:02 comment?
This one right here. Well, it was just up. It was a big long comment. It's along the lines of me telling you to bring your box call with you.
Yeah. You know, hey, you're a good guy, Despair. I like that. See, you know what? That's why. Who needs enemies when I have friends like you guys?
It's so true. It's
Dude,
true.
I'm sorry. That's funny. You gotta give it up.
You know what though? You know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm gonna switch my whole mentality. Instead of trying to do a good call, I'm gonna focus on being as bad as possible. And I'm just gonna that's what that's what we're gonna get known for. Browntime's gonna become known as the guy on Instagram that makes just terrible turkey calls. And I will purposefully shred just nonsense. Just so that every week people can tell me 0 out of 10, 1 out of 10. Nothing.
Are you gonna drink a Budweiser while you're doing it?
No. I'll stay away from that.
Okay.
Man's got to draw.
How about just holding the can?
No. It's a
nice
real
can.
Well, I won't get it.
It's a nice can. I mean, rainbows and unicorns. It's a nice can.
Yeah, well, you might think so, but I think the rest of us over here are still trying to decide how we feel about it there, Ben.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm not even going to open that can of worms.
Yeah. Or a can of rainbow beer.
Yeah. Or whatever's in there these days.
Yeah. So as far as the turkey hunting goes, I'm pretty amped up, ready to go. I actually have not. I found sometimes scouting. Well, it's kind of like trail cam pictures for me.
I can see that.
When you start getting your hopes up, things go wrong really fast because you have a mindset already of how things are supposed to go and where the birds are coming out of, the way things are supposed to like line up perfect, you know.
Sure.
Part of the reason why I don't run deer cameras because the same buck comes out every night at 3:00. Well, you're sitting there at 3:00, and guess what? He doesn't show for 6 weeks because he's been chasing some doe through the woods over here, and he shows up after the muzzleloader season. But you passed up $20 just because you wanted that one. It's
sure.
One of the things I just don't do. So I find that I find where the sign is, basically where they've been traveling. And when I get out of the truck in the morning, everybody tells you not to slam the door. I slam the door, and I want to hear them gobble. And once I hear them gobble, listen, everybody and their brother that's within a 2-mile radius has now heard that bird gobble. I just got to beat those guys to them, or I have to wane them out.
Yeah.
And I'll get to where I go, and I'll set up as close as I possibly can with some sort of land differentiation, like a big ravine, pines to oaks.
Just like some transition zone.
Some sort of transition zone where he can actually flank me, basically. And then at that point, it becomes trial and error. But I'll set the stage for him of like if I bust a hen off the roost. I don't know if you guys have ever heard hens leave the roost in the morning when they're pissed.
Like a fly down call.
But they make a lot of clucks. Yep, fly down call, clucks, and serious cuts, like the pop, like they're really upset. Make some sort of motion on the ground, kick leaves, things like that, and then I'll shut it and just cluck pop every once in a while until I hear him leave the roost, and then I'll just go dead silent on him most of the time. I found that sometimes less is more.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm hearing.
So once he's on the ground and he decides to fire off on the ground, I'll give him that excited kiki yelp, which is the I'm searching for somebody, I'm lost. And usually I'll do that a little bit later on in the morning, kind of like all the birds have split up. They were together this morning when they flew off the roost. They've now split up, and now they're searching to get back together to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that usually it's not a call you use every 10, 15 seconds. It's a call you use, every minute and a half, 3 minutes, just kind of randomly. And once he gobbles back at me, I change it because now I know what his location is.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a searching hen anymore. I know where he is. Now it's just going to be my clucks, purrs, light yelps, things like that. And that usually they usually come running in. And at that point, you got them. But I set the stage. I roll out the red carpet the best I possibly can. And
Well, I
and
think
sometimes,
that's sort of like that idea of responding to what the animal's actually doing, because we do this with fishing a lot too, where we we're like, oh, they should be on brown woolly buggers today, and you go out there and you keep casting it, you're not getting anything, and then like some kid walks down with a piece of hot dog and starts smashing them, and you're just like,
yeah.
it's about what they want and what they're doing, not about what you think they should be doing. And I think that I am very guilty of studying the data and then assuming that it's going to be a certain way, and it just isn't. So I think that's a good word.
And I think all of them are different, just as all deer are a little different. All everything. I mean, if you've ever been around horses or cattle, they all have different personalities. People's dogs, like they're
Sure.
not just generically a dog. I think turkeys fall into the same category, that they all have different wants and needs. I realize it's breeding season, but like the gobbler I shot last year, have you guys ever heard of turkey reaping, where you literally
Yes.
use a so I've been successful doing that numerous times with on public or on private land. I'll never do it on public land because I've been shot at before. But on private
You
land, I've
told us about that one time. That was a crazy story.
yeah. So I've been very successful at doing that on younger longbeards that want to fight. If they're looking
Mhm.
for a fight, they will run across a 600-acre field to try and kick your ass. But if it's an older bird that's been around a while and he doesn't want to fight, you will spook him so fast that he will turn tail and you won't see him again for 3 or 4 days because he just doesn't want to fight. So
Sure.
the bird I harvested last year, I started out with a big decoy spread, or what I consider a big decoy spread, 2 hens and a jake, right? And that's like everybody's go-to, 2 hens and a jake. Here comes the gobbler to kick up the jake and take his 2 hens. And then I pulled the jake. But this gobbler was running with 2 hens himself. So he knew if there was 2 hens in the field and he could hear his other hen, something wasn't right. So then I ended up pulling the second hen and just running 1 hen and only talking to him when I thought I needed to. And boom, that's when I had him. Because he
Yeah.
slipped up, only hearing one of his hens, hearing me. He thought there was 2. He didn't want to fight, no other gobbler in the area. And boom, he came right in, and that's when I shot him. So
Interesting.
they're all different. Some like to see big flocks, and they'll come tearing across the field to strut with a bunch of other toms and put on a parade,
Wow.
But you just got to figure out the bird. Sometimes you'll hunt the same bird for 3-4 days before you figure it out,
Wow.
and
Dang.
that's why I don't chase data on them. That's why I don't scout real hard for them. That's just the way I like to do it.
Wow. No, that's a good word. And Barnes just said here, he says basically quieter calling and maybe even some scratching as well. It helps and it makes sense. I think that's just like people they keep going to this man-made device, that is like, yeah, well, honestly, man, like I've seen deer respond to just you like taking 2 pieces of wood and scraping them down the side of a tree. Like I've seen them respond to that way faster than responding to a rattle bag or a couple of antlers being tossed together. But Ben, do you do Ben? Are you going to go out for turkey this year?
Oh yeah, I turkey hunt all the time. Me and Dave actually go a lot.
Okay.
So the one thing, I got Chris messaging me. It's time.
Okay.
So real quick, I got this year. One of my goals this year is to get my daughter one. She's never hunted them. Never shot one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a buddy who has 250 private acres. The guy you guys always see her hunt her deer out of.
Okay, got it.
So he messaged me the other day and says, the amount of turkeys here are crazy. You need to stop out. So we're going to try to get out there and see if we can get one for her right off. He's got a spot in the field. I know last year I took her out. We had 6 fly down right on top of us, but we couldn't see them in the high grass for.
Oh, wow.
We sat about an hour and a half, never heard anything or seen anything, and then got up and there was nothing. So, they're quick to move too. Let me tell you. So,
well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I really want to get some video of her killing one. She's going to go to college next year. So, the glorious part is she's still on a youth license. Yeah, believe it or not, at 17, and the reason she's on a youth license is she turned 17 after we purchased the youth license.
Oh, right.
So she falls into youth up until the end of this spring season. Then she becomes an adult.
Nice.
Dude, that's actually kind of hype. So she can do the youth season.
So she gets a week before everybody else, which really makes it cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, Brandon doesn't believe in the trail cameras, but I'm going to go buy a Tacticam Reveal because my, let's just say for some reason, mine aren't working. My spy points. And
I just can't.
I'm going to get a new Tacticam Reveal. Chris has me hooked on the Tacticam Reveal. I love his. And I'm going to get one set up on that field. I'm hoping by the end of next weekend.
I'm not against cameras, Ben. My thing is I want to be more immersed in the hunt and not caught up on the pictures, because everything changes so fast, and trail cams can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And I always find for a lot of guys that they get so hung up on the pictures that they can't think about anything else. And they'll throw away good Mother Nature statistics in the way of doing things. Like they'll throw away the wind, they'll throw away their scent, they'll throw away everything because this buck or this turkey's been here every day at 10:30 for the last 6 weeks. And it's like, yes, but now you're in there. Maybe the wind changed, maybe the weather pattern's different. Anything can happen at any point, and you need to change up the game. And I'd rather
I think they're great. I think they're great in the aspect of just using it as a knowledgeable what's there.
Yeah, no doubt. I can see that.
Catalog.
Absolutely.
A lot of guys say they can pattern, but Chris will vouch that we had them up for 2 years in the same area. And we had a buck many times that had a 24-inch spread 10-point come in. And the bottom line is, dude, we didn't see one buck in a year. Now, my daughter this year ended up shooting one of the 5s we were watching, but I mean, it's the trail cameras are to me just to see what's there, what's in the area, what's moving.
Same thing with the bear. Speaking of the unusual, the bear, we saw two different bear, and like what is it? A week before the season, somebody decided to camp in the woods, and never saw it.
We had that bear. So we had that bear on camera. We had him. It was like every Tuesday and Thursday or something like that. Like I forgot. We have it written somewhere, but
fairly regular.
We had him pattern out in trail camera. He was there every like Tuesday in the morning and every Thursday in the evening. So we literally had him pattern. We were collecting data on it, and then we went up there to hang a tree stand right before the season. It was a week before the season. I said, let's go put a stand up in that back side. I said, that bear's there. If we don't do anything else with that stand, let's go hunt that bear out of it. So we put that stand up. Well, it failed drastically because we get up there and some homeless guy was sleeping in a tent 70 yards from where we put a tree stand. And you didn't see him until you put the tree stand up and climbed up. So,
are you sure that he wasn't the bear you were catching on camera?
Oh, no, I'm sure. This bear ate Chris's trail camera.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, you could see its mouth go right over the camera, and then Chris's camera disappeared.
Did you have little Debbies on your fingers when you were putting it up or something like that?
No.
Nacho Doritos cheese.
Chris is sweet. He probably smelled them.
Just my natural.
Oh. Yeah, I think Barnes got it there.
But I didn't look at YouTube, Chris. I know you had a thing, so I'll pull that up while you're. And we didn't gain any
None. Well,
Not a one.
it is what it is.
So
I know we have a lot of people that watch the nighttime one during the day.
Yeah.
So do you want to extend it for the week?
That's up to you, bud. You're the one giving it away.
Let's do it for the week. What the heck?
Do it on next Monday. Give it away next Monday.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Again?
So I would make a post, Chris. Put a post up that anybody within that week. We have to give that chair away at the last Monday of the month there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we have a chair to give away too.
All right. Cool.
But that's a night, fellas. And I mean, we had a lot of conversation, a lot of topics. So definitely exciting. I don't think we have a special guest on next week. I have to look, but I don't think next week we do. I think it's a week after. Maybe we do.
Unless Megan wants to come on then.
Yeah, I'll touch base with her tomorrow, and we can work all that out.
If not, let's get together and come up with a good subject.
Yo, so next Monday, we'll be youth turkey hunting Saturday, Sunday this weekend.
Well, there you go.
Saturday's our opener for turkey.
I was gonna say I might have something for you.
Let us check the calendar and the scheduler. If there's nothing on, then let's plan on talking more about the youth turkey.
Sounds like a plan. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Good night,
Good night,
guys.
fellas.
God bless.
God bless.
God bless you all.